So I had the privilege this weekend to be at the South Lake campus as one of the pastors that served there this weekend. And while I was in Guest Central, a lady walked up to me and handed me this apple. And she said in the Old Testament days, the Levites would receive the offerings from the first fruits of the crop that the people had. And so this was a representation of first fruit because it was the first apple that she was taking off her apple tree. And I thought it was kind of neat because she didn't know I was a stewardship pastor, and that this is something that I normally teach and try to help people understand from Scripture. In Deuteronomy 26, it says, "And it shall be, when you come into the land which the Lord your God is giving you as an inheritance, and you possess it and dwell in it, that you shall take some of the firstfruits of all the produce of the ground, which you shall bring from your land that the Lord your God is giving you, and put it in a basket, and go to the place where the Lord your God chooses to make his name abide." So this lady, obviously, this member had an understanding of the Scripture and understood it, but also understood that although this is just a representation of what we're supposed to do, she believes not only in what the Word says, but how to actually do that today. And that's what I want to really touch on just for a moment, is today we may not have apple trees or produce, but we're still to honor God with our possessions. In fact, Proverbs 3:9-10 says, "Honor the Lord with your wealth and with your possessions, and the first fruits of all of your increase." So you and I may not have produce, we may not be farmers or have wheat or grain or corn, but what we do have is an income. God provides for us in many different ways. And I encourage you to practice the same thing that this lady practiced, which is first fruits offering. Honor God with what God entrusts to you. Give the first portion to him. And realize that God also has a system, has a way that he wants you to do it. Give the first portion and give it to God's house, where he has chosen to place his name. I thought it was a great representation of a faithful follower of Christ, and I was grateful for it. Excellent apple.